So a very good morning to you dear students. In this video we will discuss about acceleration and velocity. Okay. And first of all you should know the difference between speed and velocity also. Okay. In the previous videos we discussed about speed. What is speed is equal to distance traveled by time taken. What is velocity? Velocity is displacement by time taken. இப்போ நம்ம வந்து ஸ்பீட் அண்ட் வெலாசிட்டியை பற்றி டிஃப்ரென்ஷியேஷன் தெரியணும். இன்னொன்று வாட் இஸ் அக்ஸலரேஷன் தெரியணும். அக்ஸலரேஷன்னா இன்க்ரீஸ் இன் வெலாசிட்டி at different stages. Okay, acceleration. So let's watch the video and after that we will go for the explanations.
When we are in a stationary car that moves rapidly to gain speed, we get pushed back against our seat. And when brakes are applied, we get pushed ahead. Or when we take a sharp right turn, we're pushed towards the left. These are all situations where we are accelerating. We have all experienced this, whether in a car or a bus or while riding a motorbike. Simply put, when velocity changes, we have acceleration. I still haven't defined what acceleration is. I just told you that when velocity changes, there will be acceleration. Okay, let me give you two examples. In the first one, a car is traveling in a straight line at a constant speed of 80 kilometers an hour. And in the second one, a plane is traveling in a straight line at a constant speed of 1000 kilometers an hour. In which case do you think acceleration is involved? None. In both cases, the velocity is not changing at all. Hence, there will be no acceleration in either of the cases. Most people relate acceleration to high speed, and that's clearly not true. Acceleration will only exist when there is change in velocity. Do you remember what velocity is? It's speed with direction, and it's hence a vector quantity. Why is this important? Let's say a body moves from rest and reaches a velocity of 20 kilometers an hour in 5 seconds. Will acceleration be involved here? Yes, because the velocity is changing. It was 0 initially, and at the end of 5 seconds, it's 20 kilometers per hour. In another scenario, assume that a body is moving at 30 kilometers an hour, and then it moves right at 30 kilometers an hour, and continues traveling at the same speed of 30 kilometers per hour. Will there be acceleration in this case? The answer is yes. As the direction is changing, the velocity will also change. The only thing constant in this example is speed, but the velocity changes as the direction changes. So this was the most important concept you had to know about acceleration. It will exist only when there is a change in velocity. But how is acceleration calculated? Acceleration is defined as the rate of change of velocity. In terms of a formula, acceleration can be written as change in velocity over the time taken. If the velocity of an object changes from an initial value of u to the final value of v in time t, then the acceleration a can be written as v minus u over t. Say this object is at rest initially at point A. It then travels to the right and attains a velocity of 10 meters per second in 5 seconds. What will be the acceleration here at point B? We can look at the formula to get the answer. The initial velocity u is 0 meters per second as the object is stationary. The final velocity v is 10 meters per second and the time taken t is 5 seconds. Hence, the acceleration a will equal 10 meters per second minus 0 meters per second divided by 5 seconds. So this will equal 10 meters per second divided by 5 seconds. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Wait, hold on. What will be the units of acceleration? We should get a hint by looking at this. The units of acceleration will be meters per second. Because it's the change in velocity over the time taken. As this is meters per second, we can carry this second to the denominator and what we will get is meters per second squared. This one is more intuitive, but this one is a bit neater, I would say. So the acceleration in this case will be 2 meters per second squared. And acceleration is also a vector quantity. Here, acceleration and velocity are in the same direction. There are many more important concepts about acceleration which we will cover in the coming videos.
So that explains acceleration very clearly. Okay, acceleration is a rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. So what is the meaning of rate of change of velocity? Initially, when an object starts moving, its initial velocity is zero, but by the end of time, for example, after 5 minutes, if the object stops, so the final velocity of the object is taken to be capital V. Okay, initial velocity of the object, if it is taken as u, the final velocity of the object is taken as capital V. Okay, so it happens, the change in velocity has happened in a time interval t அப்படின்னு சொன்னோம்னா, what is the value of acceleration a? A is equal to v minus u by t அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. So acceleration is nothing but the rate of change of velocity அப்படின்னு explain பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க. Now you will watch another video where velocity is being explained.
We have seen previously that speed is the amount of distance covered in a given amount of time. It's nothing but distance covered over the time taken to cover that distance. Simply put, it tells us how fast an object moves. Also, if we know the speed and the time taken to cover a distance, we can easily find the distance covered. So if I tell you that I traveled at a speed of 50 meters per second for 1 minute, can you tell me how much distance I covered? I am sure you've come up with the answer. I have covered a total distance of 3,000 meters. But if I covered 3,000 meters from this point, am I here or over there? You had no clue as to which direction I headed off. This tells us something interesting. Speed offers only the magnitude, making it what we call in physics a scalar quantity. It doesn't specify the direction. It just tells us how much ground is covered in unit time, regardless of the direction traveled. Scalar quantities have only magnitude and do not specify direction. Do you remember the difference between distance and displacement? Distance just tells us the distance covered, but displacement is distance with direction. Say the distance between towns A and B is 20 kilometers. So if we take a 50-kilometer route from point A to B like this, then the distance covered is 50 kilometers and the displacement is 20 kilometers north of point A. So speed does not tell us the direction. Is there anything that tells us the speed along with direction? Yes, it's velocity, which can be written as lowercase v. Let's see how it differs from speed. What if I tell you that I traveled north at a speed of 50 meters per second for 1 minute? Would you be able to tell me where I landed up? Yes, you would know I have covered a total distance of 3,000 meters and landed up at this point. Velocity is speed with direction of motion. As such, velocity is direction aware. So when you mention velocity, you must keep track of direction. Something like the car moved south at 55 miles per hour. If you do not mention the direction and just say the car moved at 55 miles per hour, you're not stating the velocity anymore. What you are stating is the speed. What do you think is the unit of measurement for velocity? The unit of measurement for velocity, just like speed, is meters per second. Now you might ask, why meters per second? The cars we drive indicate speed in miles per hour or kilometers per hour. So why is the unit for velocity meters per second? The established SI unit of measurement for velocity is meters per second. And SI stands for International System of Units. This helps everyone in the world adhere to one common style of measurement. Imagine the confusion created with different measures like miles and kilometers, gallons and liters, US gallons and imperial gallons, etc. Incidentally, speed and velocity are both measured in meters per second. But do you remember which one is a scalar quantity and which one is a vector quantity? Yes, speed is a scalar quantity and the velocity is a vector quantity as the direction is also specified. Now let me ask you an interesting question. What is average velocity? To make it a bit easier for you, let's look at the example we looked at in our first video on motion. You have to travel 20 kilometers up north. But because of the road works, you took an alternative path which totaled 50 kilometers and you took 2 hours to reach the destination. This was your path of travel. Let's make 2 columns here. One for average speed and another for average velocity. Do you remember how we calculated average speed? Yes, it is the total distance covered over the total time taken. So 50 over 2 will give us 25 kilometers per hour as the average speed. Now what will be the average velocity here? The average velocity depends only on the start and end points regardless of path taken. Do you remember we had learned about displacement? So the average velocity equals displacement over time. What is the displacement here? It's 20 kilometers up north. Distance with direction. So the average velocity will equal 20 kilometers over 2 hours, which will equal 10 kilometers per hour. That's the concept of average velocity. So if you think you've really understood this concept, here's a question for you. You are a Formula 1 race car driver. You had a great race and finished the 300 kilometers race in 1 hour and 40 minutes at number 1 position. What was your average velocity? Okay, if you didn't get it, let me give you a hint. This was your start point and finish line as well. They were both the same. You went around the track several times only to eventually finish at the same point where you started. So tell me now, what was your average velocity? First, can you tell me what your displacement is? You started and finished at the same point. So your displacement is 0. 0 divided by the time taken, which is 1 hour 40 minutes, equals 0. That puts your average velocity for the race today at 0 meters per second. If, however, you were trying to calculate the speed you drove at, that would be a different answer. Try and work it out. So now let me ask you another question. I was also in the race and you probably didn't notice me because I finished last. I took 3 hours to finish. What was my average velocity? That's correct. 0 again. Place to another, the measure of total. So you have to travel to this town and the best route is straight up north. But because of roadworks along the way, we have to take a detour and the
So students, in that video, the previous video, we have just explained about velocity and speed, and we have also discussed about acceleration in the video. Yeah, இப்போ velocity அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது velocity is a vector quantity because direction is involved. Speed is a scalar quantity and there is no direction in it, and that's why we call it a scalar quantity. So how is speed measured அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, speed is measured with a unit called distance traveled by time taken. What is velocity? Velocity is equal to displacement by time taken. இப்போ இந்த distance traveled or displacement பத்தி நம்ம explain பண்ணல, and that we are going to watch it in the video now.
When we move from one place to another, the measure of total length we cover is called the distance. So you have to travel to this town and the best route is straight up north. But because of roadworks along the way, we have to take a detour and the distance covered would be something like this. Now when the roadworks are completed, the distance needed to be covered will be something like this. Distance is measured in meters and denoted as lowercase m. The distance between these two towns is about 20,000 meters, but because of the detour, you had to cover a distance of 50,000 meters. Okay, so nobody likes big numbers unless it's your salary. So we should also know that a kilometer is 1,000 meters. In our example, we can say that instead of 20 kilometers, you traveled 50 kilometers. Is distance a scalar or a vector quantity? Think about it. If you say someone traveled 20 kilometers from this point, we can't really tell where they landed up. Maybe here, maybe there, or maybe they just went around in circles. As it does not specify a direction, it is a scalar quantity. That brings us to displacement. So what is displacement? Distance with direction is displacement. Distance with direction? What do we mean by that? You made 2 separate trips to this town. Was the distance covered in both the cases the same? Have a good look. It wasn't. In each of the 2 cases, the distance was different. The time you took for the detour was greater than the time you could go straight across. But if you call someone to tell them where you are, in both the cases, your location is this town, which is 20 kilometers north of your home. The displacement in both the cases is the same. You traveled 20 kilometers north. North shows the direction, and because direction is specified, displacement becomes a vector quantity. Now let's look at this example where a mother asks her son to quietly stay where he is while she takes a quick nap. So now the child runs back and forth many times and returns to the original spot before the mum wakes up. The mum wakes up and sees the child in the same spot, and as she hasn't observed what happened in the last few minutes, she assumes the child has not moved. The child, being the future expert in physics, has in fact disobeyed her instruction and covered lots of distance. But at the same time, he can argue that he did follow his mum's instruction. Lots of distance covered, but zero displacement. If the distance travelled is a straight line, the displacement will be the same magnitude as the distance, but with the direction provided as well. In most cases in our day-to-day lives, the distance covered is greater than the displacement seen. Running errands and travelling back and forth between places cause the amount of distance to build up, though you may not end up very far from home. If you've really understood the difference between distance and displacement, you should be able to answer the next question. When a passenger travels by taxi, is he charged based on the distance or displacement? Taxis charge passengers based on distance. If you go to the neighbouring town and return in the same taxi, the taxi meter shows you the charge for the entire round trip. If you now try to explain to the taxi driver that you have had no resultant change in your location and hence you must pay nothing, it will not impress him much.
So that video would have explained distance and displacement much better. இல்லைங்களா அந்த வீடியோவில் நம்ம பார்த்தோம்னா டிஸ்டன்ஸ்ன்றது டஸ் நாட் இன்வால்வ் ஓகே எ டைரக்ஷன் டிஸ்டன்ஸ் ட்ராவல்டு அப்படின்றது எந்த தேசியில் போனாங்கன்னு தெரியாது, ஆனால் 60 கிலோமீட்டர் ட்ராவல் பண்ணிட்டு வந்திருக்கான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது எப்போ எப்படி எங்கே எந்த டிசைலன்னு நம்மளுக்கு தெரியாது அப்படியா. ஆனால் டிஸ்பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் அப்படின்னா ஃப்ரம் ஏ டு பி, ஏலிருந்து பிக்கும் பியிலிருந்து ஏக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு டைரக்ஷனை மென்ஷன் பண்ணுறோம். அப்போ அதுதான் டிஸ்பிளேஸ்மெண்ட். ஓகே, so I think we would have understood the concept much better. Now we will go to the next one called equations of motions. There are 3 equations of motions that everyone should be knowing it, and we will discuss the three equations of motions in detail.
What do you know about velocity? Can you tell me what velocity is in terms of distance and time? Velocity is the distance covered in given amount of time. We are aware that velocity is a vector quantity and is direction aware. It's speed with direction. What about the standard unit of velocity? The standard unit for velocity is meters per second. We have also learned that change in velocity is called acceleration, and the standard unit for acceleration is meters per second squared. It is the measure of the change in velocity. So an object moving in a straight line at a constant speed has zero acceleration. Now what we will see is the relation between all these when an object moves along a straight line with uniform acceleration. These are three important equations we come across in physics when we learn about motion. V is equal to U plus AT, S is equal to UT plus 1/2 AT squared, 2AS is equal to V squared minus U squared. We will use U to denote initial velocity, V to denote final velocity, A for acceleration, T for time, and S for displacement or distance. Together, these three are called equations of motion. So when we are provided with certain data and we have to find the missing information, it is very easy to calculate the answer using these three equations. These equations may look very daunting at first, but don't worry about it. The next few tutorials will make it very easy. We will use graphs to derive them, and that would help make it very clear and simple. What we will also see is how physics, mathematics, and geometry are linked, and the importance of being well versed in all fields. Before we start deriving these equations, you should also be familiar with the terms velocity, acceleration, and uniform motion. These form the initial part of this series of tutorials and should be referred to whenever the need arises.
So those are the three equations of motion that you saw on the screen. Okay, அதோட outline மட்டும் தான் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. What are those three equations of motions அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் we will discuss about those three equations of motion in detail in the coming videos. Okay, so with this we have discussed about speed, velocity, acceleration, distance traveled, and displacement, and the equations of motion. I think you would have understood the concepts much better. Meet you in the next video. Thanks for watching.